Relationship and money, romantic relationships and money. This is one of the topics that people never discuss as much, but has so much impact on your financial life. So today we're going to be talking about what makes a man loyal. Mainly today we're going to be talking about men. So the women should be very keen, because I'm going to tell you, number one, the kind of men you should avoid by all means. When you see them, run the opposite direction, because if you're someone who is ambitious and looking to get rich, you will never get anywhere with your money. You will never ever get anywhere with your money. You will never get anywhere with your goals. So I'm going to tell you the traits you need to be looking out for, and when you see them, you can also give me a call, and then I'll tell you, you know what, this is wrong, this won't work out. And on that note, we have just launched a new service in case money matters. Now you can come to me, give me a call, look for me on WhatsApp. Let's have a conversation, whichever way you want to do it, either voice call, quick video call on WhatsApp, or message, or audios. Right now, you can basically contact me and talk about a specific issue that is affecting you. A lot of people do come to me and they're like, okay, I didn't want to have the packages, the usual sessions that I do, like finance coaching. I just want to have a quick question with you. But because I have so many requests, I can't just be taking my time giving people, free information and having calls. So I've made it quite easy for you. It's going to be a very cheap one, only 2,000 for 1 hour. We're going to have a very candid discussion on anything that is worrying you. People have different worries. Sometimes everything is going well, but you only have one question or one thing you want to deal with. So Ken's Money Matters has come up with a new service, which is out now. So you can have a call with me, 1 hour call, and then we will just discuss whatever it is worrying you, whether it is debt, loan, a relationship, and finances. Relatives are stressing you, bills are stressing you, you have less income, things to spend on than your income actually. So you basically underwater every single month, or you earning money but you don't see where it's going to. So you don't want to have sessions, but you just want to get a clear direction or a clear path with a specific issue. So yeah, that is the new service. And now we're talking about relationships and money. And I'm saying I'm going to give you some traits that you need to watch out for women if you're going to date a man. And for men who are watching, don't be these kind of people we're going to be talking about today. And besides that, we were also having a conversation about loyalty, which is gonna lead us into the new conversation. I was having this conversation recently about what makes a man loyal to a woman. And sometimes people confuse loyalty for lack of choices. As men, we like to have choices. That's the natural truth. That's just the truth. We want to have choices. We have to have the option to, do certain things in different ways, not just be restricted to a particular way. Like me, for example, I like doing things my own way. So in that sense, sometimes women think that men are very loyal to them in the relationship sector. Some women may confuse lack of options with loyalty. And one thing that makes men lack options is money. If you want to know the real test of a real man, is to see how they act and how they treat the person around them when they have some money and when they're in a position to make some other choices. If someone is given an option and they have the money, will they exercise it, or will they have restraint and continue with the loyalty they've been having? That's when you know a man is loyal. So this is just a warning to most people. Don't confuse loyalty with lack of options. If a man has options and they're still loyal to you, that man is a good man. If a man has no options, that loyalty may just be lack of options, and therefore they are basically desperate and they have to hang on to this one person despite what inwardly they want to do. That's why sometimes you are with a man, you're suffering, you're doing all the work, you're becoming the donkey. The moment he makes money, he goes for a different woman. So I'm saying that because it will lead into our discussion. A lot of people and a lot of women who come to me for finance coaching have certain issues with their relationship and with their finances, and most of these issues come out of their relationships. So either the relationship is bad or is financially abusive, or the man is just not pulling up his weight and the woman has to do everything. A lot of people are in relationships whereby one person is carrying the burden, and it's becoming very common that women are actually carrying the burden, which is very strange. And this is happening in an African society where we knew that men took care of their women. Of course, things have changed now, and we're not going to just take care of them sitting down, but we are saying this should be a shared responsibility, and the man still has to be a man at some level, in my opinion. We're going to look at some of the people that you may have to avoid. Number one, any man that tells you to stop working and stay at home. Red flag. Run to the opposite direction. Men that do tell women to stop working are men that do not want progress in women, and they therefore want to control them. So some of them might have actually some money, some of them might be financially okay, but the fact that someone tells you to stop your career, if you have a clear plan, if you have a clear path whereby you're going to follow to get to your own goals as a person. That independence is your freedom. And if that freedom is taken off you, chances are you're not going to make it quite far. So any man who comes into your life and the first thing they're saying, they want a stay-at-home wife. They want someone who can basically be submissive and stay at home and do everything else that is being done at home as they bring in the money, run away. First of all, it means he has very limiting beliefs in terms of making money, unless he's a multi-billionaire, which chances are multi-billionaires have very busy wives and very busy girlfriends and very busy partners. So they will never ever tell their partners to stay at home. Most of the time it's the poor men who don't have enough money that actually tells their wives to stay at home, because they still want to be served despite not having enough money. The biggest weapon or the biggest tool to wealth building is a couple. If you can come together and build something, you can build an empire. So you need both brains working, you need both people working, you need all the resources you can bring to the table so that you can push your dreams. Plus again, the woman needs her own independence, because relationships do end. And most of the time when they end, who suffers most is the woman that suffers most, because chances are they never participated fully in the financial structure of the house. And therefore, when the man leaves, the woman is left as a shell. And I deal with this a lot. So to the women, let no one tell you to drop your dreams and follow them. Number two, a man wants to control all your finances. They don't want you to say anything. They don't want you to contribute in terms of what should be done in the family or in the house or in the whatever. It doesn't have to be a house really, in the relationship. So any man who wants to control finances to the T, they want to make sure that they are the ones carrying the whole burden without involving you. I know there are women who don't like getting involved, and that's actually a bad habit anyways, but that's a different case. So today we're talking about men. So if a man is so keen on taking control that even if you ask what they're doing, they don't want to tell you, that is the wrong person to be with if you want to build wealth. Of course, it depends on what you want. If you want to build wealth long term, don't be with someone who wants to fully control your finances. It will interfere with your wealth building process. So that is something you want to take note of when you start dating, and be open in your relationship to talk about these things when it starts. Nowadays, we don't talk about financial issues after. We talk about financial issues before. These are things you should actually discuss as soon as you think of having a relationship with someone. Then there are men who don't have any clear career or any clear thing that they are doing. They are usually, these people just call themselves businessmen. They will never tell you what they are doing. You will never know how they make their money. You will never know exactly what they do to get cash. Run away from those kind of people. Things can happen that will require you to answer to questions you've never known the answers to. So if you're going to be with someone in a relationship, you need to be open to each other. A relationship requires openness. Finances require openness. You bring everything to the table. Everyone knows what you're doing. Even if you're busy, someone should know what you're doing. Just recently, we heard of a story of a guy in Kenya who was shot dead, who had like 7 wives in different places. And the guy took care of these women, but these women, especially the main woman, never asked questions for 12 years, and so they never asked questions. One of them was 7 years, the other one was 12 years. Never asked questions on what the man was doing. And she said very clearly that if you asked him anything about his job, he would be very angry. That's red flag. And if you someone want to build wealth and you cannot know what someone is doing, how are you going to build wealth together? You can't, because you will never have money discussions anyways. He will either be just giving you what he thinks he should give you, or he will not talk about money or any investment at all. So how do you get security as a woman? So if a man doesn't disclose what they're doing in a clear way, just know there's something shoddy. So don't get a very secretive person with money, because it will interfere with your wealth building process. Then now we have this crop of men that just prey on women, on rich women. So they look for people who are doing well, because a lot of women are going out of their way. They're doing finance coaching, they're seeking expert opinion, they're working so hard, they're opening businesses, they're making money. Women have realized they have to be independent. And in the process now, there are some men who are just looking for these independent women. These men are not having any clear careers, they don't have any clear plans in their lives, no clear goals, no clear ambitions. All they do is they move from one rich woman to another. Be careful with such men, because they are basically preying on women, and they always know the women to target. They don't go for any kind of woman. They go for some type of women who are making money. We've heard of several women losing money to even Nigerian cons in Kenya. We've heard of several people losing money, even from abroad. Even people in the UK, in Canada, in the US, losing money to some men online because of some kind of relationship that developed online. So if a man is just basically interested in your money, and you can always spot these signs, then that is a very clear sign that that relationship will not help you in building wealth. Run to the opposite direction. Then there are those men who bombard you with love. The first day, the first 2 days, first 3 days, they are telling you all the nice words. They're buying you all the nice stuff. They're spoiling you. They haven't even known you for too long. If someone is love bombarding you, you have to be very careful because you never know what they are up to. Don't be someone who is just easily swept off their feet, because as men we can sweep you off your feet quite easily as women, because there are a few things we just know with the buttons to press and you'll be like, whoa, I've gotten the best person in my life. We are just basically preparing you for a slaughterhouse. So be ready for that. Know when someone is being too much, know when someone is bombarding you, know when someone is being a bit excessive with whatever they're doing in the first days of the relationship. Of course, as the relationship continues, you get to know someone's character, you get to know how they act with their finances, how careful they are, how they manage their money, and therefore you won't be so surprised with whatever it is they do. But in the first few days, someone is basically showering you with money and gifts and all this expensive stuff. You have to be careful. This has happened to so many women, whereby they're basically lured. And when women trust, they do trust quite deeply. So you get lured quite well, and then when you get there, what happens? They con you. And they do con you lots and lots of money. Just the other day, I had one rich lady in Kenya say that her ex-boyfriend almost conned her 3 million, but she found out because she worked on them making this plan. So that is how bad it is. Don't fall for this love bombardment all the time. Someone is just coming to you with everything from the world. You're thinking that's how it's going to be for the length of the relationship. Those things should build up. It should start easy, it builds up with time, and then you get to a point whereby someone is actually in a position to do whatever they want to do for you without you being suspicious, because anyway, you know what they're doing to get money, you understand their finances, they've let you into their world, so you know everything going on. And then avoid men who are insecure in their financial status. And these men are very controlling. If you find a man who is very insecure about their financial status, they are very insecure about where they are in life, that man is going to be a problem in your life, and they're going to be a problem and a detriment to you building wealth. You know why? They are basically measuring their growth against everyone else. They are always competing, and therefore when a woman in their life is going to be, let's say, slightly ahead of them sometimes, because that's possible, they will never allow it. So they will always keep you down, because for them, the world out there has other people are doing better, because there's always someone doing better. So the world out there has someone doing better than them. So who can they control? They control the next person who is sitting right next to them. So people who are insecure about their finances, and you can always spot this very early in the relationship. If someone is insecure about where they are, be very careful with that person. Don't allow people who are busy competing with the world and everyone else to be in your life, because you know what? They will be competing with you next, and you will not be able to grow past their stage. Anytime they will be trying to stunt your growth so that they are ahead, to make them feel good or to boost their self-esteem, which is low at that particular time. So frustrating you becomes what feeds their self-worth, and then it becomes a perennial thing which really frustrates your wealth building process as a woman. And of course, that leads me to the next point, which men who stifle your growth. If you have a man who does not want you to grow, does not want you to venture into new things, does not want you to start a business, doesn't want you to look for a bigger job, doesn't want you to earn more, go for a bigger position, that man is not going to support you in your growth. Be very careful of men who stifle your own growth. They always tell you, oh, you don't need to do that, you don't need to do that, we are busy with children, or we're doing 1, 2, 3, or I think you're having too many things. No. If you feel that you can handle something, go out for it and find a man who can support you through that process. Be very careful with men who are always trying to let you settle and just relax. Those are controlling people who do not have dreams and are fearful of the woman being better in terms of finances. And then there are the men who don't have any savings or any investments or any plans. I know sometimes life can be tough and you can meet it very early in life, so someone might not have savings. But if a man has no plans, very solid, clear plans that you can be told in 2 seconds and you're like, wow, that's a good plan, and they don't think of investing at all, that man is not security to you. That man will not be security to your children. Anytime you're going for a relationship, you're looking for that security. If you can't find that security, life is going to be way, way, way difficult. If you find a man and he doesn't have any clear plans in terms of investing and growing wealth and building wealth, and he's not talking about it, that is the wrong person for you. Then there are men who just sit on the couch and watch TV. I always say one thing: give a man food, sex, and shelter, and the man will never get off the couch to go and chase his dreams. And this is something a lot of women are doing now. They are providing food, they're providing shelter, they're providing sex, and the man cannot wake up to go and do his own stuff. So if you have that kind of man who is basically a couch man, just sitting on the couch the whole day watching TV and having the remote on their hands, controlling different channels, you are in big problems. You have to wake up as a lady and know that life is not about sex, it's not about how good that whatever is, that game is. It's about the security of the people you're going to bring into the world, or even your own security as a person. So you want someone who can still have these things that I just mentioned, but go out there and chase their dreams. These things should be motivation to a man to go out there and chase their dreams and provide security for you, not make them lazy and lie on the couch whole day waiting for you to come back from work. Terrible, and something that is becoming very common in our societies today, which is something so strange to me. Men are basically sitting down and waiting for the women to do the work. Some lazy men. If you meet such a man the first week and you see those signs, get off. And if you're in that kind of relationship, just know you're not going to build anywhere. Then of course, there are those who are very secretive about money. They don't want to talk about how much they make. You know their jobs, yes, you know everything they do, but they never want to tell you how much they make. They don't want to open things on the table and just say, hey, this is how much I'm making. This is what you can do, and this is where I take my money. The reason we are having lots of conflicts after people are dead is because they were very secretive with their money. They never took the right steps, because if you're secretive, it also means it's very difficult for you to seek help. I'm a finance coach. I talk to people all the time, every single day. I can say categorically that 70% of my clients are women, not because the men have all the information they need. No, it's because the men do not want to talk about their finances. They have practiced to be very secretive about money. And sometimes it's shame, sometimes it's just ego, sometimes it's the societal, conditioning that has made them people who just can't open up about these things and seek help. Funny enough, they seek help when they have issues in other areas like health, for example, but they can't seek help to help with investing. If you have a man who is not able to be open about their finances, to be open about what they're planning to do, to be open about their future ambitions and goals, then you're going to have a problem building wealth. Like I said, you have to bring things together for you to grow as a couple. Finances are one of the biggest causes of divorce in the world. Sometimes you might have other issues, but underlying issues, you always find finances. It doesn't mean lack of it. It could also be availability of it that could lead to divorce. And sometimes some people can have so much money, but they don't know how to manage or control that money. That's why I say in Ken's Money Matters, we look at the money mindset and how to manage the money and how to make the money, how to invest that money. All those things are looked into so that you have a holistic understanding of the process of money management and of course building wealth. These are some of the traits you want to look for in men. You want to look for someone who is secure in themselves, someone who knows what they want. You want to look for someone who is out there looking for money and not just sitting on the couch. So for the women in here, these are the traits you want to look for in a man. This was mainly meant for the women and telling them the kind of men to avoid. We'll also do a video telling the men the kind of women to avoid. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Tell me, what are some of the traits you look for? What are some of the things that you also avoid when you're looking for someone? Because finances are a big part of the relationship. If you don't agree on your finances, chances are you won't have a relationship for a long time. Or even if you do, it will be a very difficult relationship that is forced. If you want to have an easy relationship, you definitely have to talk about your finances. That's it, guys. Remember, one call away. I'm just one call away from having that consultation with you. If you are interested, check Ken's Money Matters. You always come through Ken's Money Matters website and straight to my inbox, and then we can have a call. We can discuss whatever it is you want to discuss. Feel free to come, guys. Welcome and see you next time.